How's it going? My name is Hoiman, and today marks the second year since I've started this channel. And looking back at it, I can't really believe it's already been 2 years. It just feels like it's gone by really quickly. But in those 2 years, I have gained quite a few subscribers, so I'd just like to say a very special thank you to my subscribers, and thank you for sticking with me each week as I give you updates on how I've been. I really appreciate it. And then looking back over the last year, although it's been quite a negative year for all of us because of the pandemic, especially for the people with mental health and myself included, I think a positive way to look at it is just how much we've kind of struggled together through the pandemic and how we've kind of come together to support each other as well. But in terms of my own personal year, I think overall, looking back, I have accomplished quite a few things. So firstly, I did publish my 4th book, and then also created other YouTube channels alongside this one. Continuing to write my 5th book, tidy up my room and my cupboard a bit. So overall, I suppose they're quite small things, but for me they're very large and big accomplishments, so it's positive to kind of reflect and look back on what I've achieved in the last year. So for this past week in particular, like I mentioned last week, the E3 for this year happened, which is basically a lot of video game announcements, and I specifically said I was excited for it. And overall, I thought it was okay. I thought some of the presentations from other companies were a bit lacking, like the Square Enix one and the Bandai one. And then I thought the Microsoft one was overall okay, but I think ultimately my favorite this year was the Nintendo Direct. It just had a lot of great game announcements and updates, and I mentioned most likely last week they would have shown the next character for Smash Brothers. And I mentioned that Lloyd Irving is my most wanted, but I also said that my expectation is that he will just return as a Mii costume. And the Smash event happened, and they actually announced the character to be coming next would be Kazuya Mishima. And although I am a little bit disappointed, at the same time, like I said, I was pretty much expecting Lloyd to return as a Mii costume, and because Lloyd and Kazuya are both made by Bandai, more than likely the Lloyd costume would be shown later when Kazuya releases. So overall, I am a bit sad that Lloyd didn't make it, but at the same time I do feel that Tekken, which is the game that Kazuya is from, should be implemented into Smash Brothers before Lloyd and the Tales of series, just because Tekken is kind of one of Bandai Namco's biggest IPs. So here's hoping that Lloyd maybe show up in the next game, but for now, I guess overall it has lifted quite a huge relief from me, because I had this kind of struggle about Lloyd getting in Smash Bros. Really weighing me down. So now that I know he's only become a Mii costume, I suppose that's just lifted a whole weight off my body really, and has brought me some relief. And then for most of the week, rather than continue my current book, I actually went back and continued on my visual novel based on my first book, since I just kind of wanted a bit of a change of pace really, like just working on writing every day and drawing. I just kind of wanted to take a bit of break from that, I suppose, and just kind of focus on one of my other projects. So overall, the visual novel is going slow, but it's going steady, I think. And if you're interested in watching it, you can check out my visual novel of Room 8 on my other channel, Reading with Hoiman, and I'll leave a link to my channel in the description in case you want to go watch it. I suppose it's been a little bit better than last week. I suppose because of E3 and kind of getting me a bit excited for seeing the reveals this week. I suppose all that has lifted my mood up a bit, and finally knowing that what Lloyd will become in Smash Brothers is quite a big relief for me as well. So overall, I think my mood has been okay this week. It hasn't been overly joyful or anything, but just a little bit better than last week. Well, next week is actually my birthday, and because we're still in pandemic, but the rules are lifting quite gradually here in the UK. I believe it's the 22nd, I think, that lockdown will be lifted even more so that you can kind of go out and meet friends and family. So for my birthday, I usually do have a gathering of friends and family, but I think I still don't fully feel that safe to go out for dinner or anything like that to celebrate. So I think I'm just mainly gonna have the celebration at home and only invite a few of the family over. So I guess that's pretty much it for this week, so hopefully I'll see you next Saturday. That's it for this video. My name is Hoiman, and please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, always look forward, keep hope alive, and remember, you're somebody.